Do you ever have those days when you're like, man, I just don't have enough, there are not enough hours in the day. There's just not enough time. I just don't have the bandwidth for this, as a lot of people like to say. It's been that way for me the last few weeks in a good way. I mean, I went on vacation. My wife and I went over to the Outer Banks for a week and celebrated our 40th anniversary, and it was amazing. While I was there, I got to play some radio, but I missed a lot of comments in the last 2 or 3 videos. I try to stay on top of those. It's really hard sometimes as the channel's growing, which I always want to be, I want you to be able to talk to me, whatever, but it's tough. So I figured, you know what, I do a video, kind of give a channel update as well, but answer the most common questions I've been getting. So in the last month or so, I've really been putting together a travel kit. In about 5 months, I'm going to Australia and New Zealand, and I was putting together something that I could travel with, go out on the beach and operate with, maybe go up on a hill and operate with, maybe do a park activation, a POTA park. When I'm over there, I kind of want to do a little bit of everything, and all I'm doing is just playing radio the whole time I'm there. I'm not going on any sightseeing missions or whatever. It's all about playing radio. So I kind of, in my mind, had some ideas. I was going to put together a kit. It was going to be between the IC705 from ICOM or the FTX1 from Yaesu. You've probably seen the video. I went with the Yaesu. I love Yaesu. I really wanted to get the ICOM, but something told me to do the Yaesu. Okay, so I got it. And everyone's been asking me, why didn't you get the whole Optima? Why didn't you get the 100-watt thing of that? Well, I've already got an FT710. I got a 991. I don't need 100 watts in that form. But then I go and get a PA50 micro PA50 amp, 50-watt amp, and a micro PA100 100-watt amp. And I've tried both of them and used both of them with the FTX1 with great success. And everybody's going, why are you doing that? Why don't you just get the Optima? Why are you using that thing? The thing was made to go 100 watts with the Optima. Listen, here's the reason. Battery. There's a TSA requirement that you can only fly with a 100-watt-hour battery, 100-watt-hour, and it's carry-on. You got to take it on. Okay, so with that said, here's what it would take. Oh, the other one. And why didn't you just buy the FT891, which would have been a 100-watt radio? Well, this is the battery it would take to operate the Optima. And I did the research, which is 256 watt-hours. It would be a 20-amp-hour battery, 256 watt-hours. I can't fly with this. I can't take it to Australia with me. It won't happen. So it rules out the Optima. So with that said, the 891, which I used to own, I drove the 891 with a 12-amp-hour battery. The problem with the 12-amp-hour battery is, as you can see here, it's 153.6 watt-hours. It won't fly. It just won't happen. So with that, I've also used a few other things with the 891, a 10-amp-hour battery, 10 amp hours. I was like, hey, maybe small, easy to fly with, right? Wrong. 126 or 28 watt-hours. There you go. 128, I can't see. 128 watt-hours. Can't fly with it. So it narrowed it down that I had to use this smaller amp to fly with. So what did I do? I've been taking it out and testing it with a 6-amp-hour battery, which is 76.8 watt-hours. It works. You can fly. I can fly with this battery. As a matter of fact, I have flown with this, not this battery, but one same size before to operate my G90. So I can, with the internal battery on the FTX, I can drive the amplifier, which is powered by this. And it worked. That's what I've been doing in the last few videos. I went out with the PA50 on the beach. Great DX. Had a blast with it. This past weekend, I went out on the beach with the PA100 on the up on the eastern shore of Virginia. It worked. I drove that thing. I did a POTA activation and just went hard for like 45 minutes or so. Battery's still there. It didn't kill it. So with that said, that's the reason why I didn't get the Optima. That's the reason why I didn't get the FT891. That's the reason why I was on the fence between the 705 and the FTX1, because I wanted to be able to drive that little amplifier, that micro PA amplifier, either the 50 or the 100, which I knew by testing that I could run it off of the smaller battery that I could fly with. So that answers that question. Since then, though, I really did some research on batteries, and I got the this here. This is the 8 amp hour Bioenno battery. Just got it. Haven't used it yet. And the beautiful thing about this is it is 96 watt hours. So this is the battery. 8 amp hours. I can fly with it. If a 6 amp hour battery will drive that thing, you know the 8 amp hour will. It'll last longer, and I'll have a good time with it. So that answers that question. I kept getting it over and over and over, and I understand. I mean, it makes sense. It's like, why would you piece all these parts together and have this kit with, you know, an automatic tuner, which mine has an internal battery. I don't need a battery for that. You know, the amp, which needs a battery, the radio. It does seem convoluted, but it's just the situation that I'm in because I'm going to fly over. Now, a lot of people said, hey, you know, you can buy a battery over there. I don't want to take the chance. This is a once in a lifetime deal for me, man. I want to go over and get it done. That said as well, in other words, why don't you just take the G90? Once again, once in a lifetime deal. I want 100 watts. I want to get over there and make all the contacts I can. Yeah, I can just take it off, and I probably will work a little QRP with the FTX1, but I really wanted to be able to do all that. So that answers that question and what's going on now. Now, I also, when I think about traveling, I don't know if it's me or whatever, I want a backup plan for everything. So with that said, you know, I can operate QRP. I've got the internal battery and the radio. I'll probably take both amps, the 50 and the 100, if I can get them all in there, because they don't have batteries in them. I could probably pack one in suitcase and carry on the other way. Luggage gets lost, I'm good. So I can do that with it. The other thing is now I'm thinking of a second radio. And I think I found a tiny little radio, perfect, with its own internal battery that will do the same thing the FTX1 will. It's kind of funny. Some of you guys are going to laugh. That is also a Yaesu radio. I've got on its way an FT817ND with and I'm going to do the WinCamp battery mod to it or whatever. And that thing, if you've ever held one, it's tiny. I saw one. I was at the beach. And a couple guys were doing a POTA activation. I went over and said hi to them, and I looked at that thing. It's like, I've never owned that radio, and I never really thought about it. That thing is like tiny, and it's perfect. So I might take 2 radios with me when I play with that one, which is coming. I call it the backup plan. So that wraps all that up. Now let's talk about the trip. A lot of people are like suggesting I go here, go there, what have you. I've kind of really settled on what I'm going to do, and I'll tell you why. I've got my good friend, Bob, VK4BOB. He's working me hard to come up to Cairns and be up in that tropical paradise or whatever. And I'd love to, Bob. I would really love to do that. I get it. The problem is with that is I can't get the logistics to work flight time-wise and money-wise to what the budget that I have on that I plan on doing this with. So, and the other thought with this too is maybe this will be an annual thing, and I will get back. I'll go do that later. My first trip over, I want to go to an area similar to where I'm at. So I live in a large metropolitan area, but it's not the biggest. I mean, I'm not in New York or LA. I'm in Hampton Roads, Virginia, which is it's a large place. But I've got a bay. I'm surrounded by water. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to a place like that in Australia that's kind of like we'll call it a second home, something similar to where I'm at. And I think that's going to be Brisbane. Brisbane with Moreton Bay. I'm going to go over and stay like the Redcliffe area over that way, right on Moreton Bay. There's all kind of POTA parks over there. And I will venture off. Maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll head up to the Sunshine Coast. I don't have a lot of time. I want to maybe concentrate on that area. Just to me, it's about the operations there, but it's also going to be about the local flavor and a place that's like close to home, something similar to where I'm at here. So that's my thoughts, and I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Brisbane area. So if you're in Brisbane or you're in that area, let me know. Get in touch with me through QRZ or whatever. If you're in the Brisbane club or something, I'd love to meet you guys. I really want to start planning out now. That's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be in Brisbane, and more specific, over on the Moreton Bay, over in Redcliffe and that part. That's really where I'm going to spend my time. After that, I'm going to fly to Auckland, and I'm probably going to stay close to, I'm not going to go in town. I'll probably stay over somewhere near, close to the airport or whatever, and I'll just venture off each day. I'll take a drive, because when I'm over there, I want to go up and maybe do a soda activation, something I've never done, because I think soda in New Zealand would be epic. If you live in the Auckland area and you're a ham in that area and you're interested in catching up with me, find me on QRZ and you got some ideas. That's the plan there. There's a few spots I've already kind of mapped out and taken a peek at. So that's what the buildup of the radio and what I've been doing is leading to, and what I'm trying to get accomplished. Now, with that said, all this is being financed for me through my DX Engineering affiliate. So that was the other thing. People are like, you're selling out, you're selling out. No, I'm not. I've been asking people, if you're a Patreon, that's great. Thank you. If you're a channel member, thank you for your support. Help me buy the FT817. I reinvest every dime I make on this channel. This channel's really starting to take off really here lately, and I reinvest it. So with the DX Engineering affiliation, anything and everything I get from them, if I get a commission off of sales through my link, that's all going into a fund, and that's paying for the trip over. Trip of a lifetime, a dream for me. It's like the one corner of the world I've never been to. I've been to Asia, I've been over Asia, all over Europe. I've even been to Northern Africa, South America. I've never been to Australia and New Zealand. It's something I always wanted to do. And as I'm getting older, I want to get it done now while I can still climb that hill, maybe, and do a soda activation or whatever. But what I'm saying is the relationship I have now with DX Engineering is really doing well. A lot of people are using those links and they're purchasing themselves something and supporting me through my affiliation with DX Engineering. So with that said, that's where I'm at. I'm really, if you hear me pushing it hard, it's because it's really helping me fulfill a dream. And so if I'll put the link below, if you're go buy yourself something, it helps me. It really does. Go shopping. And DX Engineering is so awesome too. I just love the people there. The relationships I've established with DX Engineering is amazing. What they do for people like the res system and for like Spultena guys, whatever. I mean, those are individual small companies that DX Engineering is brought into the fold with them and supporting them as well. So I love them for that and what they're doing. So that question, kind of a grumble and gripe. A lot of people have been really positive about that. There you go. The other thing, formats of my videos lately, I'm experimenting a little bit and trying a few different things. Last few 2 or 3 videos, I kind of want them to be more of a lifestyle type video, like me, like you see me, I'm in the morning, I'm getting in the Jeep, I'm driving, I'll talk to you when I'm driving, I pull up, cross the bridge or whatever, we activate, I try to explore around what's going on around it because I like watching those type videos. I have a couple guys I watch that are not ham radio guys that operate like that. I love the style of their videos. Luke McFadden, he's a crabber up on the Chesapeake Bay. One of my favorites, probably right now my favorite YouTube channel is Luke McFadden. He's awesome. I watch him and how he does it. Just an amazing young man. Another guy, Mav, another young man up in Minnesota. He camps, he ice fishes, and whatever. His style of videos like that. I really want my style of video in the ham YouTube world to be like that. Something that's different than everyone else. And I noticed this, and this isn't a complaint. If you're interesting and you can put some really good content together, I encourage you to start a ham YouTube channel. But I noticed when I was at Hamvention that it was just like everyone had a camera, and it was almost like it's getting out of control. Everyone's got a channel, and everyone's a POTA channel, and that's not me. I mean, I love POTA. Just past weekend I activated. I want my channel to be more of a lifestyle and not me reviewing every product that comes along. You see a lot of the products are what get the clicks. Let's just be honest. I know they do. If they didn't, I wouldn't be, featuring them. But I don't want it to be about the product other than what I'm using. That's another reason why I like my affiliation. I'm pick and choose now what I want to get. And I do pay for most of it that I get from DX Engineering. They may give me a discount here or there or offer something, but mostly I buy that stuff as well. So, and I use my own link to get the discount. But anyway, I do that, and I get that stuff for my channel and do it. So what I'm saying to you is I don't want to be like, you see a product come out and then there's 8 guys doing a review on it. It's kind of what really drove me crazy in Dayton with the stuff like the ICOM stuff or whatever. They're amazing. That's a great company, great stuff. But I just, like I said, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be me. I want to be different. And I want my channel to be different. And I want it to be entertaining. And so when I go to Australia, every day there will be a video. And you'll get to see me get up, go. If I go on the beach, there's things I want to eat there. I want some local seafood I've never had before in that area. There's these things called Moreton Bay bugs. I want to try them. There's somewhere between a crawfish and a lobster. Just things like that. I want to experience that and experience the life there as if I lived there. You know what I mean? Kind of like the culture, the people. That's why I want to talk to some of the local hams there and do the same thing when I'm in the Auckland area. I kind of want to bring that more into my videos. It's what I did. The last video I just did, I went across the Eastern Shore. A lot of people, they see it. They go, there's an 18.5-mile bridge. I focused on that bridge a lot, maybe too much in the video. I think about it. I'm learning and I'm trying to adjust it. But at the end, when it takes like 25 minutes to go across, I sped it up into a 4-minute window and just threw a song from my son's band in there to end the video. So what you're going to see, I mean, I'll try to really put the meat and potatoes of the ham radio ops early in the videos, but if you stay with me, I'll even say it. I've said it before. Hey, I'm going to go eat now. Thanks for watching. If you want to leave, you can. If you want to go follow me, let's go do it. But I really want to take my videos in that direction. I'm so glad I called the channel Coastal Waves and Wires, because it's really about the coast, me, my lifestyle, operating, and what have you. And I want to add that more. Now, I'll still build antennas. I'll still experiment with antennas. I love antennas. If I can find another antenna I haven't built yet, I'm going to cut wires and build it. The channel will always have that in it. But I really want to go more lifestyle and less product, as far as like, hey, here's the new, XYZ antenna, here's the new that or whatever. I don't want to do that. Now, people will offer me, hey, Walt, will you try this antenna out? Yeah, I'll still do that. You can send me an antenna, or if you got an idea, I will do it. And it just because I want to try and play with every antenna I can. So if you see me with some, $500 antenna that somebody sent me, I'm sorry, I'm going to try it. I'd rather see what it's like than to not try it. And I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm just going to play with all that stuff as it comes. But I'm not going to be a channel of continuous product reviews here. So I hope you understand that as well. Anyway, that's the key thing I really want to get across because of the comments in it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really, really, really trying to be less salty. I hope this one didn't sound salty, because I'll be honest with you, I'm in the happiest place I've ever been with this channel right now. This channel is awesome. It's amazing. The people are subscribing. My subscriptions are shooting up. It's just amazing. I can't get over how things are. And I'll tell you something else too, something I'm very proud of. I didn't even mean for this to be about this. A lot of you guys bought the first book, Salty Walt's Portable Antenna Sketchbook. Book 2 is out. This is something else I'm very, very proud of. I really put more effort into book 2 than I did in book 1. I mean, there was a lot of effort into both of them, but I'm so proud of this book. I'm so happy with how this book is doing sales-wise. And it's kind of geared to take, if you're a portable antenna builder, to kind of give you some more ideas to keep going. I'm really, really in a happy place right now with the book as well. I'll put links below to both of those with the American Radio Relay League. But there you go. I am, like I said, man, life is great because of you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for all the positive encouragement you guys give me. And even you guys that throw a little shade every once in a while, you know what? Hey, good. Sometimes maybe I deserve it, but thank you. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. All right, there you go, guys. There's my update and what's going on. And hopefully, if you've been watching, that may answer your questions about batteries, radios, what am I doing, where am I going, and what's happening. Hopefully that'll clear it all up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm Salty Walt, K4OGO. Stay salty, my friends.